A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and on the free Odyssey app.
It is the Mason Crosby Show. Tommy Wirtz in for the Packers' all-time leading scorer and Mitch Thunder Nellis. Joining me today, ... Mr. Aaron Morse. What's up, Aaron?
Did you look that up, or did you...
I made that up that time.
Do you think it was right?
No, I have it over here. It is ... I read it wrong. I just looked it up. I still can't read it correctly. Aaron Morse, first time on the Mason Crosby Show?
Yeah, this completes the circle of life for me here
every show now
on the network.
Yeah, awesome. There you go.
Yep.
So we're going to be hanging out for the next couple of hours here. Fun show on a Friday. We're going to talk some Brewers Cubs for the first segment here. I'm sure for multiple segments. The new CBA proposals in Major League Baseball have me pretty concerned. And I want to know all throughout the show. Text these in 414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law Talk and text line. We will take calls on it at 1:00. Rule changes you cannot stand in pro sports. You can talk about positive rule changes during that as well. But I think that it's a fun Friday topic, talking about some rule changes. I feel like the CBA is getting into some new regulation, new rules. I just want to talk about it in all sports. I don't really know much about any rule changes outside of the big three, NBA, NFL, MLB. So if you have other ones, I'm sure there's someone passionate about the new rugby regulations that are going out all around. We'll take those as well at 1:00. 414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law Talk and text line. Plus, we'll start looking ahead at the Bucks as opposed to remembering what Giannis was. What is exciting heading into the future of this Milwaukee Bucks basketball team? Or are you not holding out any of that hope on whether or not you are excited or not? But I want to talk a little bit first about the Milwaukee Brewers. Last time the Milwaukee Brewers played the Chicago Cubs at American Family Field, things went really well for Milwaukee. That was back when Abner Uribe did this.
Carson Kelly grounded to short. Ortiz makes the play. Ball game over. The Brewers will play for the pennant.
That was the last time the Milwaukee Brewers would win a baseball game in 2025 also at that. But it was an amazing moment, emotional series. We all know the Chicago-Milwaukee rivalry goes way further than just baseball. And obviously the Packers up in Green Bay can't stand the Bears. And I guess no one cares about Bulls basketball anymore. And people are soon to forget a little bit about Bucks basketball without Giannis there. But obviously with Craig Counsell, the departure, the game 5, the winner go home mentality in that game, and the Brewers taking 2 early and then losing the next 2, finding a way to battle back with, not giving up a run in that first inning for the first time. Aaron, before we talk any more about what's coming up this weekend, where would that rank for Wisconsin sports memories for you, beating the Cubs in game 5 last year?
Honestly, I feel like it'd be pretty low.
Really?
Yeah.
No?
I mean, 163 would be higher than that if we're just talking Brewers Cubs.
Okay.
That's higher than that. I think, honestly, Craig Counsell returning and just beating him in his first game back in Milwaukee might be a little higher on that for me. Wisconsin sports, I mean, Bucks title has to be higher. Packers title has to be higher.
Right.
Yeah, and then I bet there's many more that, but I don't know. I don't know if it even cracks a top 10 for me.
Wow. Okay. All right. I think that's a hot take.
Maybe
think that's
it is.
a hot take.
Maybe
that
it
was
is.
an emotional series last year in which I'm pretty sure I was just in the boat of anything after this is extra at the time. Maybe loser mentality to win the World Series, but just the thought of, please do not let the council-led Cubs eliminate the Brewers from the postseason. Do not let that Bears-Packers loss that we endured last year have that feeling happen in the Brewers-Cubs series just a couple of months before that. I could not let that happen. And first and foremost, going into this series, I don't know if I have any news updating this. I have assumptions. I don't know if they're going to have Pat Murphy. I don't know if they're going to have Pat Murphy in the dugout this weekend. I think he was having back surgery yesterday, so he might be gone.
He might be up in the suite, and he might have a phone next to him. He'll just make phone calls down to Chris Hook.
Can you be in a
dugout.
major league dugout the day after back surgery? Sure feels like probably not, right?
Yeah, I feel like he's probably laying down right now.
Yeah, I can't imagine that he'd be up and moving by any means. And also, the other highlight, it's Jacob Misiorowski Day. It's Jacob Misiorowski in the Wisco jerseys. Last time we saw that, it was 15 strikeouts. It was 95 pitches and one of the best pitching performances we have ever seen against the Philadelphia Phillies. I think tonight maybe won't be better than that day. But do you know how the universe just seems to have the stars align in your favor sometimes, Aaron? Don't you ever get those gut feelings where you just know something's going to happen, whether it be good or bad? You just have the vibe. You just have the wave. You somehow have the script.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Giannis Antetokounmpo was traded at the beginning of this week in what is maybe one of the most influential Milwaukee athletes we have ever seen. What he did for that franchise, bringing them back to relevancy, bringing them to the top of the mountain, and forever competitive as one of the all-time players now in the entire history of the franchise and the entire history of the sport. How poetic would it be? The first start from Jacob Misiorowski after Giannis leaves to go out and absolutely shove against the Chicago Cubs today. I am so excited to watch Jacob Misiorowski versus Chicago. And we have a couple of Chicago fans. Some people claim I am in the building here.
The way you tweet lately.
I go up to all of them today. I went up to all of them. I think it's Matt on promo. It's Rami on content. I'm gonna say something to Charlie when he gets in the building today. If I am a Cubs fan today, which I'm not, I am terrified of Jacob Misiorowski.
Thanks for qualifying.
I am terrified because Miz takes over the city tonight.
Shaking in the boots.
Miz
shaking in the boots, yeah.
Takes over the city tonight. I don't even care about Saturday and Sunday, which I feel great about with Harrison and Woody regardless. Mm-hmm. But man, the universe and the stars align for Brewers baseball today. The Bucks losing Giannis Antetokounmpo at the beginning of the week. Milwaukee on the front of that jersey. Today it'll say Wisco, but Jacob Misiorowski takes over Wisconsin sports. He takes over Milwaukee as the face of the athlete face of this city, because against their biggest rival, against the team they played postseason baseball against, their number one competition maybe in the division, Jacob Misiorowski, a stud performance today, takes over. You saw Christopher Sanchez give up 5 earned runs yesterday. Miz has a hefty lead in that Cy Young voting. Here is a Cy Young moment awaiting to happen. I don't even know any of the odds over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook yet, but I am hammering the over on whatever it is for Jacob Misiorowski's strikeout total today. I am hammering the over on his over-under in innings pitched today. If there's a hits number at 3.5, I am betting the under today on Jacob Misiorowski, because this game for this city today is so needed. It is so needed to see a superstar go out and represent your city today, and to do it against the Chicago Cubs when they're going to upcharge on all the parking today, when they're going to make sure that they are heard for half an inning. They will be silenced by the time the Brewers put up 2 runs in this ball game, because they know they will not get that off Jacob Misiorowski today, Aaron.
one of those games where Cubs fans, like if they've got something else that may be going on, they do that before they watch the Cubs? Is that what you're saying? That they might be like, they know, Cubs fans know it's not going to go well tonight? Because Mizorowski's already faced the Cubs this year, if you remember, in Wrigley. He went 6 innings, 3 hits, just 1 walk and 8 strikeouts. So you're okay. I mean, good start, great start, but seems a little pedestrian, right? 6 innings and only 8 strikeouts. It was on 74 pitches. So he's got another 30 to work with if he really wanted to. Like, he was dominating that game against the Cubs earlier this year in Wrigley.
Here's one for you. The money line today for the Milwaukee Brewers at -278. The over-under set at 7.5. You can predict a pitcher's match underway coming in now for this Brewers and Cubs series. I know how this is all aligning. This is all coming up here. This is why the Brewers do this. This is why they line up Jacob Mizorowski. They could sense a Giannis trade on the horizon, and that is why Jacob Mizorowski gets this Friday game. He shoves tonight. I'm so confident in that today. Hot take, Jacob Mizorowski pitches well. But this game, I'm ready for dominance yet again. I have no fear coming into today. I wonder if there are fans in Chicago that were like, we should just go on Saturday so we don't have to see what they do on Friday against Jacob Mizorowski.
So they want to watch Kyle Harrison, who went 7 scoreless against the Cubs, and maybe pitch better.
I understand that it doesn't sound like there is not a pitching matchup that the Brewers are going to be the underdog in this weekend. Old friend Colin Ray on the bump for the Chicago Cubs today, and Jacob Mizorowski, now the obvious leader in the clubhouse for the Cy Young, out on the bump for the Crew and has had a fantastic season, who has an ERA of like 0.5 point lower than anyone else in Major League Baseball now. I'm excited for it. And joining us here in studio now, Mr. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer has just popped in, assuming that he's going to yell at me for something that I said. What's going on, Mr. Fife?
Who keeps unplugging my air freshener?
I know who it is.
It's Rami, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Because he says that it gives him a migraine.
Okay, fine. I wanted to come in quickly because I heard you talk about Mizorowski and how this town needs Mizorowski to go out there and essentially go be that superhero for this town after the last superhero with Cape left it on the ground and walked out, right?
Correct.
I have a question for you that's been brought up on my show that I'm just curious for you and Aaron of your thoughts. Are you in favor of being done with the Giannis mural on the side of the building in Milwaukee and replacing it with a Jacob Mizorowski mural instead?
So this would probably be a better conversation in our next topic on the CBA, because that might determine whether or not Jacob Mizorowski gets a mural here.
What do you mean?
Well, you're going to bring it up. Like the Miz, if the Miz is this good, Spark, the Brewers can't pay him.
Who cares? He's going to be here for another 5 or 6 years. Giannis is going to be playing on another team for the next 5 or 6 years.
The reason Giannis got a mural is because he's never leaving.
No, because he won a championship.
No, because if Giannis got the mural, because yes, he got them to the top of the mountain, but also loyalty and this is my city were words that just kept coming out of his mouth the entire time. Jacob Mizorowski, look, thank you for your service you're about to put in here, but if you have a guy who's throwing 270 strikeouts with a 1.5 ERA 5 years in a row, he's going to make more money than Shohei Ohtani.
No doubt. My point is, I don't want a mural up of somebody that plays on another team in my town.
I'm not taking the mural down.
Give me the best player in Wisconsin and put that mural up on the side of the building. That's who I want.
We should have a fat head wall in Milwaukee so it's easily taken down, doesn't damage anything to the side of a building, instead of murals where you have to paint over consistently. Okay, how about this? What about Murphy takes over the mural?
No.
It's got to be Miz.
It's got to be a player.
Pat Murphy?
Yeah. It's been here almost a decade.
Maybe the rule has to be you have to be dead.
Maybe
that has to be the rule.
It would be really weird to me.
Because then you can't change teams anymore. You can't go anywhere.
You can't change teams in the afterlife. You go, you go to the grave with the last team you
We
were
don't
on.
know that for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that Miz getting a mural, you got to win an award to get a mural.
It would be a little weird, I think, to take down Giannis and put Miz up. I feel like that Miz doesn't quite qualify for that kind of love yet.
Is Robin Yount more qualified for a mural than Jacob Mizorowski is?
anybody's more qualified than Giannis is
Mm.
to have him up in a Bucks jersey when he doesn't play on the team anymore.
Correct. No, I look, and you and me, I think, see very much eye to eye on the whole Giannis situation, where Sparky's a diehard Bucks fan. I am a casual Bucks fan. Sparky's doing post-game shows when this team's winning 12 games a year, okay? Like, he wants the Bucks success. He roots for the name on the front of the jersey. I am someone who just recognized that the Bucks stumbled upon one of the best players of all time, a top 25 player of all time, and say, this guy is so special, I need to watch him play this sport.
Yep.
And Sparky was on top of this Giannis story before any news broke, before the Jim Ozarski article came out. Sparky was like, why won't you say anything? Why will you not talk? You just don't want to be the bad guy. Why? This is all speculation from Shams? No way. He is hearing something this entire time. And Giannis Antetokounmpo decided to play it exactly how Sparky was laying it out the entire time. And so, quite frankly, thank you for what you did over the last 13 seasons for Milwaukee. It was special. It was a great run. But now, I got a new relationship here. I can't talk about the old girlfriend with the current girlfriend every day, because that's going to ruin things for the future that one.
How about this then? Because if Giannis is taken down, if that mural's taken down, I don't know if
they've already said it's not going to be taken down officially, but either way, go ahead.
Yeah, but I don't know what mural would make sense in Milwaukee. Like, I don't think there's one that makes sense right now for a mural to go up then.
Why?
To replace, because I don't know if anyone has done enough or is justified to get that kind of love.
We are on X, we are on YouTube, Instagram Live, all that stuff at WI Sports Radio. You're telling me if you're watching right now, you don't think Tommy's face and body wouldn't look good on the back of a building right now?
With a Cubs logo on his shirt?
He's not going anywhere.
Sean in Wanakee, he ended up with the best tweet at me of the week when he put up a Jake Bowers mural over the Giannis mural that said, I'm hitting 30 homers this year, expletive. And I was like, yeah, that's the one.
Fine.
That's the one I'd
How
vote
about
for.
putting a cloth over the mural until Giannis retires and then you take the cloth down, it's still up?
No.
Because post career, there's got to be some recognition of Giannis.
Is there a Giannis?
At some point, he'll have a statue.
I was just
going to
say, is there a statue yet?
No, there will be.
But now you have to wait until he's done playing to build it.
I said this yesterday or the day before. You build him a statue and he comes back for the statue unveiling and then you play him that night, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah.
Like that. None of that happens. I don't want the jersey retired prior to that. I don't want a statue built prior to that. Nothing happens until he's officially done for, I don't know, at least a year or two.
Sparky would retire Ray Allen's number today for the Bucks. That's what Sparky would do.
I'm definitely not a Ray Allen guy.
34.
Would Jimmy Haslam be petty enough to do that?
Here's what I told Aaron. Here's what I told Aaron. Miz should come out and wear 34 tonight instead of 32.
I think you probably have to get some type of special.
But just for the day,
whatever.
He should come out and wear 34 and just shove
the whole team.
The whole
Comes out in 34.
It's just, I don't know.
Like how you have the Hank Aaron Day where everybody wears the same number.
Yeah, right.
Get special clearance for
Jackie
Major
Robinson
League Baseball
Day type thing. Yeah.
Well, he's part owner of the Brewers. So come out.
Dude, I'm telling you, if Miz wanted to be the ultimate troll tonight, he would wear 34.
Say it as if you're doing
shove.
it in honor of Giannis, but really you're doing it in spite of Giannis.
Yeah, but the new 34 is in town.
Yeah.
I would be all so down for that. I would be so down for that. That was my number one troll topic I had today for Aaron when I said, what if Miz came out wore 34?
Didn't
How
say
amazing.
anything pregame, postgame. Is just like, yeah, screw that guy.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be so down for it for one day. He's already changed his number once, right?
Yes.
What's up with all the number 33 Mizorowski jerseys? How many people bought a Mizorowski 33 jersey after those first two games? And then we're like, what the heck, dude?
Those are more valuable now than the other one.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's a
was
little
a
rare.
short run. Yeah.
Sparky, what's a rule change that you are not a fan of? We're going to talk about it at 1 o'clock, and I want to know what's a rule change in any sport that you thought, wow, I just don't like this. I didn't like it from the start, and now seeing it live, I still don't like it.
I do not like the NFL overtime.
Mm.
They could have just left that alone. Play a full quarter, goes to a tie, fine. or just go to the way college football does it, I would have been fine with that. But every year changing all this stuff with the NFL, trying to figure out overtime, the new kickoff stuff, you can save me on all the new kickoff stuff.
Yep.
I was fine living that way. But what I realized, and the reason I don't complain about all this stuff necessarily on the radio, is because it's just old man yelling on lawn, right? I mean, that's all this is. It's just a bunch of old guys complaining about how they want it to be the way that used to be. They don't want any change going forward. We don't have to change everything, but that's how the world goes, man. Everybody changes constantly.
Schwartz Center today. Miz will throw at least one pitch over 105 today. What if Miz throws 105.7 today?
Good.
What if he does it?
Be awesome.
That would be amazing.
It'd be great for the fan in Milwaukee.
Last I checked, it was not 2:00 yet, so not sure why Sparky is on from the 715.
Because Sparky can do what he wants, honestly.
What am I supposed to say? Don't come on the show to my boss here.
Sparky gets to do what he wants. I mean,
if you're not watching on YouTube, Sparky's smile right there. That would feed families for sure. If they take the Giannis mural down and put up a Bucks championship mural for bringing the city to a title of Milwaukee. So what if they put the team up there? What if they put like a Drew on one side of them and a Chris on one side of them? Then it's fine to keep it up.
You can have 3 people that don't play on the team anymore, all on one mural.
Well, you got rid of Bobby. There's no one left.
I mean, why don't you just put the trophy up, the year, Bucks championship, all of that? I'd be fine with that.
Mural should stay. He's the best player in Bucks history, and he won a championship for the city from the 2-6-2.
Where's the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar one?
A mural of Ryan Braun. And I'm not going to read the rest of it, but there was some smart remarks about it. A mural of a giant Miller Lite. We all need one after this week. I like that one, 715. That's a good idea, too. Unplug Sparky's mic instead of his air freshener.
All right, man. All right. I get it. I'm out.
And there it is. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer down for the count. He's coming up at 2:00. He's going to be live from Summerfest at the X Golf, the hole-in-one challenge. So make sure you guys head on down there starting at 2:00. I'll be down there from 5 to 6:30 with the leadoff show, getting you ready for game 1 between the Brewers and Cubs. I'm telling you, tonight's the Miz night. Tonight is the Miz's night. Maybe it won't be 15 Ks, 95 pitches, okay? But I'm telling you, he puts on for the city today, and I love the take if he throws 105. I think he's going to be amped. That place is going to be jumping today. It's going to be covered in Cubs fans. You know that. So make sure you, the Brewer fan, get to American Family Field. Cheer on your Milwaukee Brewers today. Miz is going to feel it. I got it. I'm telling you, I have the script. He shoves tonight. He absolutely dominates. It is the Mason Crosby Show. We are live in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. On the other side, we're going to keep some baseball conversation going, but the new CBA and what that could mean for the future of Major League Baseball. Owners, another proposal, plus some gambling proposals coming back in a counteroffer from the players. It all comes up next right here on the Mason Crosby Show. Welcome back to the Mason Crosby Show. Tommy Wirtz, Aaron Morse in today. Aaron Morse completing the gauntlet of shows at the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. This is just the gauntlet of time slots, I guess, because I don't know if Mitch and Mason would do a show like this that we're going to do today. Even though I'm on that show every day, helping plan it, content, there's very often times where I'm like, hey, we should do this. And they're all like, shut the hell up.
Yeah.
So this is my time to shine right here. I'm going to make sure
You're
that
glowing.
I do this show right here the way we want to do this show, Aaron. And the next piece of this, by the way, I do have some breaking news. Trisha Whitaker reporting, I spoke on the radio about what to expect from Pat Murphy today, and quote, Pat Murphy will manage the game tonight between the Brewers and the Cubs 24 hours after undergoing surgery for a ruptured disc in his back. 67 years old. The man is superhuman. Why would Trisha Whitaker be reporting this? Don't forget, Apple TV tonight. That's going to a lot of people not thrilled about that. I understand.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, I believe on one of those, I did log into my Apple TV, so I have it just for you tonight. Otherwise, the highlights will be up on their socials. Usually pretty good too. But the Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show that comes up tonight at 9:30 or after the last pitch, whichever comes first. It'll be Aaron Morse and Tim Allen. I got the night off tonight. I'm doing pregame from Summerfest. That'll be the leadoff show, 5 to 6:30, immediately after Wisconsin Sports Daily. Come say hi. Come grab a shirt. Come grab a pop socket, a bag, whatever we got over there. They're all doing a great job setting us up for Summerfest. By the hole-in-one challenge, $5,000. You tee up 3 balls for $10. If you get a hole-in-one, you win $5,000. It's a good investment if you can get a hole-in-one for sure. And I want to move over and keep the baseball conversation going, but we have a new development in the latest CBA between the MLBPA and MLB, talking about contracts. And right now, so to go over some of the synopsis here of what has happened so far in the CBA proposal, right? We've heard about the cap. We've heard about the floor. We've heard about arbitration pools going up, the free agency number, 30 years and 5 years of service time. The new ones here, Major League Baseball. This is their proposal to the players, in which they are going to, it looks like, have a max contract length for free agents of 5 years for players who are switching teams. So we all talk about Brewers got to trade him before he goes somewhere else, right? If there was a Willy Adames situation in which they did not trade him on that contract year, Willy Adames would have a maximum 5-year contract with a new team. If they decide to stay with their current team, that contract length expands to 6 years to retain your own players. They would eliminate the qualifying offer, and they would eliminate deferred contracts, as well as the 5 years to free agency for players 30 and over. We heard about what they have pitched with the draft. They're going to make the draft 8 rounds shorter, and they're going to add on an international draft to this, whether, instead of the signing period, they're going to make it older to get drafted. It's going to be 2 years removed from high school. So you're going to be 20 years old getting drafted as opposed to 18 years old. And for the international draft, you'd be eligible for that at 18, and you are no longer able to sign when you are 16 for an international player pool. I want to know, 414-677-1250, how confident are you in some of these proposals passing in the new CBA? And at this point, whose side are you on? Because it's very easy to tell the players, dude, you make so much money. You make so much money, and you have such an amazing, quality of life when you are one of these high-end guys that make the Ohtani money, the Soto money, the Harper money, wherever you go from there. But MLB is pretty much projecting like $500 million in money saved on player contracts coming up. This wouldn't have even made Alex Rodriguez's deal eligible like 25 years ago, which we all knew when he came out and got the big deal. Yeah, that was ridiculous for that time. But I still think that what Major League Baseball is doing, they're speaking two different languages right now. Now, I don't know how that they agree to all of this. Now, they did propose the league minimum to go up to $1 million, and that's like a really big thing where they're saying the league minimum goes up 30% for these guys. That's a huge deal. And on top of that, Major League Baseball players have another part in their proposal to eliminate prop betting from gambling on the sport because it avoids fan heckling over at them. I have no idea, Aaron, how there is baseball played on March 30th.
You remember a couple weeks ago when both sides gave their first offers and it was kind of like, oh, that's not a terrible offer. Actually, it kind of seems relatively middle, but it was like, okay, that's just what they want us to see. We don't get to see behind the scenes. There's probably more to it. This is all the more to it now that we're getting all these extra add-ins that they want to throw in. And it's like, all right, yeah, they are really far apart. As far apart as we thought they were. The original offers were like, oh, maybe they're closer than we thought. This stuff coming out now, it's like, oh, they are really far apart, and there is no way that either side is accepting any bit of what they are proposing right now.
MLB is proposing a system similar to NBA's, quote, bird rights that would address the goal of teams being able to retain their superstars. Any team signing a free agent from another club will be restricted to a contract that covers a maximum of 5 seasons and a maximum first-year salary of 15% of the cap, a $202 million guaranteed deal starting in 2027. However, a team signing its own player would also be able to offer a contract that covers up to 6 years of free agency with a maximum first-year salary of 16% of the cap. That would be a total of $265 million for a deal starting in 2027. Salaries would be permitted to grow by a maximum of 5% in the remaining contract years. Maximum contract lengths would apply to free agent years only as projected at the time of signing. So players who have not yet reached free agency would still be permitted to agree to longer-term deals, such as recent extensions signed by Connor Griffin, Kevin McGonigal, Roman Anthony. The maximum values of these deals will be determined based on a player's service time. So, for instance, if you go in reverse order of service time, then you can guarantee them more money by the end of this. So a player with 0 service time, you could sign to a max 12-year term with $500 million guaranteed, as opposed to when you keep going down, 1 year of service time, an 11-year deal for $461, 2 years, 2 years of service time, 10 years, $421 million. So they really just want that $42 million to be the number that is roughly the highest paid player in Major League Baseball. So we will not see any more of these deferred contracts like a Shohei Ohtani or a Kyle Tucker, basically what the Dodgers have been doing. I personally understand why people hate the deferred contract, but I do believe it allows small markets to invest in the brand of these players, because that Shohei deal, for instance, 10 years, $700 million, a ridiculous number. Should any player be worth $70 million a year? Probably not. But the brand of Shohei Ohtani, when he is in your market for 10 years, I don't care if he's playing for the Los Angeles Dodgers or if he's playing for the Tampa Bay Rays, will his brand eclipse $1 billion in 10 years? I truly believe any team could have done the Shohei Ohtani deal, Aaron, in which you're paying $2 million base salary every year, and then you're going to owe him $68 million for the 10 years after his deal. Are you a fan of any of this proposal here that we just read off with the contract situation for Major League Baseball players?
Yeah, there's one part that I've been probably asking for a couple of years now, from the league side of things that they propose, that I'm very interested in. And I think it would actually help solve a lot of the issues that are plaguing some of these smaller teams, like what the Dodgers are doing, and that is the deferred contracts. I think I don't know if you can totally take out deferred money because there's plenty of players who have deferred money in their contract. I mean, Ryan Braun's money's deferred and Christian Yelich has money deferred. And yeah, there's all sorts of players, but I think the league proposed that they want to get rid of all deferred money. My solution would just be you can only defer up to like 10% of a contract if you are above a certain, threshold. So like the Dodgers, if they're above $300 million in their payroll, they can't defer more than 10% of any contract. So like Shohei, his contract would be illegal in these, in that realm, where like the Brewers or the Marlins or the Pirates or some of these smaller market teams who are maybe spending a little less, they can defer more money if they would like to. I think deferments are a big reason why there's such a disparity in roster talent or payroll, because the Dodgers, they're deferring loads and loads of salary that allow them to keep, like, if they had to not defer money, they wouldn't be able to field this team that they have right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the tax penalties and whatever that come with it, no, they would not be able to at this time. But I still don't know how that they come to an agreement if these are the terms that are coming to this point. And Major League Baseball, I'm sorry, I don't know how they're going to not allow prop betting. It just doesn't feel like there's no shot. I mean, you guys see it, right? There was all of these. There's still a handful of Major League Baseball teams that are on like FanDuel Sports Network, right? I mean, we all know that Major League Baseball is an effort to try to regain the rights of all of their teams and all of their products back, but I don't see how they could eliminate sports gambling at all.
They'd lose a ton of revenue from
sponsors.
sponsorships.
Yeah, there's no way Major League Baseball.
They'd lose so much money.
I mean, you look at Brewers TV, even though it's not on FanDuel Sports Network anymore, I mean, they have the Potawatomi Sportsbook logos all over that. We love the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
You can't see our friend John Kuhn on a Brewer. Like, you have to watch John Kuhn on a Brewer game.
He knew he had to be a part of the team when he got the call. Like, that is, there's no way that happens. There's no way. I do understand a sentiment from the players of like, hey, people constantly tweet at or DM on Instagram or yell at me during the game of, you're a bum. You didn't get this hit for me today. Or I had you over 1.5 total bases. Why don't you do something? Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the people with problems.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Those people have problems.
Yes.
I mean, that's the very loud minority. About what? 1 to 5% of people are doing that because they're psycho and put a ton of money down and they just have a gambling addiction, a gambling problem. Most of the people, they bet and forget. I mean, whatever. Okay.
Right.
Wow.
Gamble responsibly.
You didn't hit 8 strikeouts today. I had you at over 7.5. Like, okay, move on to the next one.
I am very nervous with the offers that we've seen so far that baseball is in jeopardy.
They're so far away.
They're so far away.
So we are
December is when like the league year ends, by the way.
Yeah.
So there's a 0% chance this gets like there will be a lockout. There will be a lockout.
So we're like 8 months away from the start of spring training next year, right?
Okay.
Ish.
Yeah.
Right. So we got 8 months to get from 0 to 100 and get them to meet at 50, because that's where they're basically at like 5 and 95 away from getting to 50. That's how far these proposals and these little add-ons are right now for the two sides. So they have 8 months to do that. I don't know. Is that enough time? Maybe.
I'm gonna go out and guarantee that spring training will be affected. Whether that means there will be no spring training or it will go into spring training, I will be stunned if they start on, February 24th of spring training or whatever it is. I believe there's going to be a lockout, and that would start by December. So they wouldn't be able to have pitchers and catchers reporting in that early part of February like they do now. If I'm getting to, will baseball be canceled in 2027? I'm not there. I mean, I'm not going to say that there's no baseball going to happen next year. I think that's about, a 95% chance we're getting a season next year. That it doesn't help anyone to not play baseball next year, whether it's the players or the owners. It helps nobody to get to that point. But do we see a delayed start? I think I'm at about 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to figure out the math of like how they could maneuver the schedule to do 130 games or so. Like basically you'd play your division the same amount of times, 13 times, and you play everybody else in the league 3 times instead of playing, National League twice. You play them once, and that would get you down to like 120 some games. Does that seem doable?
They're going to eliminate 40 games.
Yeah.
So that puts you starting by June 1st.
So instead of playing the Braves
thing?
6 times, you'd play them 3 times. And that alone, that would be 10, that'd be 30 games right there that you would miss. So that would bring you down to 132. I don't know where else you'd take games from, but maybe you just, I feel like you got to play every team in the league. The way that they do the interleague now.
No, I feel like that rule will get thrown out if they're still searching for a season next year.
Maybe you only do 2 out of the 3 American League teams. So
the holdout of the Brewers need to play the Texas Rangers next year is not happening.
So yeah, I guess I just mean the schedule. So what, you play the East and the Central, and you don't play the West, and someone plays the West and the Central, but not the East, and in the American League. So that would be 5 teams. You lose 15 games there.
Yeah, it's not good. They are far away. The CBA is not looking great right now. I'm going to guarantee a lockout in December. I'm going to be 90% sure that spring training's not going to start on time. And I'm about 50% that the season does not start at that time based on the current proposals. And my hunch.
Just when they have all the momentum too.
Right.
Baseball.
Baseball's so good right now, dude.
Yeah.
Baseball is so good.
They're crushing it.
I would love to be wrong. I'd love to be wrong about all this. Absolutely. Baseball looks great. All right, coming up, we're going to set you guys up for the top of the hour as we want your rule changes that you cannot stand. Baseball's done a lot of good in the rule change department. There's some that haven't been great, and other sports leagues have done the same during this time as well. It is the Mason Crosby Show. Tommy Wirtz, Aaron Morse here from 12 to 2 today on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Welcome back to the Mason Crosby Show. Tommy Wirtz here with you. Gerard is on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. What's going on, Gerard? What do you got for us?
Hey, I don't like the new schedule MLB has now that they play. I don't mind interleague play all the time, but the fact that the Cubs are coming here for the first time and it's the end of June, seems kind of absurd.
How about 70 games until they played the Reds, Gerard? Like,
exactly.
They're in the division. That's got to be the longest time in the NL Central era of the Brewers that it took to play the Reds, right?
And they played like 20 games against the American League in the first month.
Yeah, I get that part of it. I do like that they play every team. I think it's cool that they get to, get the stars in Milwaukee every other year to a point. But I do think it's weird. I think it's better than playing the Pirates 19 times a season. But I get your point, Gerard.
And then also,
go ahead.
Shouldn't it be MVP, just one MVP for MLB?
I get it. I like that one, too. We're going to talk about rule changes. Thanks for the call, Gerard. On the other side, Nicolay Law Talking text line 414-677-1250. Rule changes you hate. Coming up next on the Mason Crosby Show.
A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and on the free Odyssey app.
Hour number 2, high noon in Bozeman, Montana. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What's your favorite mountain time zone city, Aaron?
Dude,
I mean, the list goes on, right?
Throw that into the questions I've never been asked before category.
You're not a Dickinson, North Dakota guy? What about Provo, Utah? That one gets brought up quite a bit here.
People like Provo.
You ever been to the mountain time zone?
No.
Wow.
I've never been sitting and experiencing the mountain time zone before.
Have you been to the Pacific time zone?
Yeah. I've been to Seattle before.
Okay. One of the best time zones out there. I think actually the correct answer is the Central time zone. But I could be biased.
I think the Central is the best. I think there is a case for the mountain time zone being slightly better just based on for the soccer game last night for Team USA, they started at 9:00 Central Time. It'd be 8:00 Mountain, which would feel pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think Central's the best.
Let's just keep it that way.
Yeah.
It is the Mason Crosby Show. Here's a big topic I want to get out there for you guys on the Nicolay Law Talking text line. You can text in, call in, comment away on YouTube. Got a couple of those to read during this segment. Rule changes you can't stand in sports. Whatever you want to do, wherever you want to go. Maybe you can educate some of us, because it doesn't necessarily have to be for baseball or football or basketball. There's obviously a section of hockey fans, and the World Cup's going on right now. I can't tell you a single rule, I don't think, in hockey. You can't tackle someone. You will get a yellow card.
Well,
red card.
I was just saying earlier, we were kind of thinking some things. They can't tuck the back of their jersey in.
There was something there on the NHL that maybe we have to validate some of these, because I typed it up to get a couple out there, to get the ball rolling. I had talked about this a little bit briefly with Aaron when he came in. And so, Aaron, when I tell you a rule change that has happened in pro sports in your lifetime that you can't stand, where does your brain go first?
Actually, this is not where my brain went first, but I'm going to say that my brain has now gone there last, because it's probably the one up there that I think is pretty strong in today's world. Transfer portal.
Oh,
transfer portal.
The transfer portal.
The willy-nilly transferring.
And NIL.
Has got to be a rule change that I do not like.
Okay. That's a great answer.
I didn't think about it until the last break, and I was like, you know what? That's technically a rule change, right?
And that's all sports over at the collegiate level, right?
I think give them one free transfer and then make them do the year off like they used to do. But yeah, willy-nilly transferring. That's got to be the one that didn't come into my mind first, but is probably at the top of my list.
That might be the one of one. I can see that being one of one if we're doing a draft order of rule changes that we hate in our lifetime. That's one that I think a lot of people would agree with. I think most people think the transfer portal, being free agency year in and year out, is really destroying the nature of college athletics. I don't necessarily think that they should be stuck in situations. So I do agree with a one-time penalty-free transfer.
You can do a special circumstance, like a coach leaving.
Right. There's if I'm just a NARP, a non-athletic regular person, as they would call them, then I can go and up and move and transfer as many times as I want and rejoin as a student the entire time, but with the intention of bettering or putting myself in a better situation academically. Like that's why I did that. I did transfer. I was a transfer student. I did it in 2020. Like that was just ridiculous what I did. But I understand that if you are 4 years somewhere, things change, and you're 18 years old, expected to know the rest of your life. That's just such a stupid concept in a lot of ways. But that's a great one. I think the transfer portal, a fantastic answer. Where I went to first is I was thinking of baseball. And mine is in regards to, I can't stand the Buster Posey rule, man. I can't stand it. I really can't. Just, do you know how awesome it was to be able to plow over the catchers?
Oh, dude, me and my brothers younger, we would used to play a game. We just call it plow the catcher. Catcher would throw the ball in the air to an outfielder. There'd be one of us would be sitting a certain distance away from the plate, and we would just, on the catch, guy would take off, and we'd try to get it as close as we can to just plow the catcher. We used to play that game all the time in our yard.
There's plenty of rule changes and the ghost runner is another one that was on the top of my mind because of
hate that one.
The concept I explained at the end of 9 to Noon that was brought up from Andy on the text line, who's given me so much to talk about on this issue and so many people to say this is a problem in my head of if they ever run into a scenario in which a perfect game is taken into the 10th inning and you lose a perfect game, that just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So I'm almost anti-ghost runner 1,000% of the time.
You know why I'm anti-ghost runner is because I love long inning games.
Oh, okay. You're a fan. So you're a fan of just long games in general, or just long innings?
Give me 15 inning games.
Well, then
just give them to me.
What about the pitch clock now? Well, how do you think?
Oh, I like the pitch clock.
Well, the pitch clock was like one of the biggest, most impactful, positive changes in my mind. Aaron on the YouTube stream, however, puts that out as a nominee. I hate the pitch clock. As long as the pitchers have unlimited timeouts, then I guess the pitch clock would be okay. But it just seems absurd to force the pitcher this way. And it really hasn't impacted pitching performance all that much. That's the part of it that's crazy.
Pitchers now, watch a game and pay attention to the pitch clock, and when pitchers are pitching the ball, they'll go with like 7 seconds left on the pitch clock. They have time. If they want more time, they have 5 extra seconds that they can use. Most pitchers are pitching pretty early in the pitch clock. And then I would also say, go back 10, 15 years ago, find a random game from like 2010, 2011, 2012-ish, and just watch an inning of that game and feel how slow the game feels, how boring the game feels compared to what you watch now. I think there's probably some, what's the word? Some, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but some love for the past. That
nostalgia
is the word I'm looking for. Yeah. Some nostalgia for the old way, man. Some of those games, if you watch some innings, they take forever.
Another one coming in here. I know I might be in the small minority from the 920, but I do not like the universal DH or the DH in general. If you can't play defense, you are not a baseball player. I think I'm okay with the universal DH. I do miss pitchers hitting to a point. They have to be the same. You can't have the American League doing one and the National League doing the other. And hypothetically, it creates all these jobs. It creates 15 jobs. But really, does it create 15 jobs or does it take away a pinch hitter role for a guy? It just creates one more high leverage job, I guess, in a way where you might be
less
able to,
guys are used in any given game.
Right. That's another one. So maybe I'm not a fan of the September call-up changes either when it went from 40 to 26, right?
You know what? I wish that, that's a great
28.
one. That's a great one. I want September. I want the 40-man roster freedom back. Now, how cool it is to just have 40 guys on your team and just have unlimited possibilities of what you want to do. I love that, but I'm also a strategy guy. So like the DH for me, I don't mind the DH. I like the DH. It's fine, but I miss the strategy of having your pitchers hit. I don't care if the pitchers hit or not. I like the strategy of the double switches and, hey, do you leave your pitcher out there to hit to give him another inning? Like all of that.
Well, and Brewers,
that's what I like.
And Brewers fans were a little spoiled with pretty good hitting pitchers for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Giovanni Gallardo, Zach Greinke hit one. Markham, I know, hit a grand slam along the way there.
Sabathia for half a year.
Sabathia was ridiculous, obviously, for a time. Brandon Woodruff has one of the biggest swings in Brewers history of a what could have been swing. And it obviously that's a pitcher hitting during that time. Another one that comes in, the 3-batter minimum, relief pitchers facing a minimum of 3 batters. And that now kills that like situational lefty job, which now you have to be able to pitch to multiple guys in a lineup when you are left-handed to come in and you're not just coming in to face one lefty. They did, however, get by with you can have a situational lefty if it ends an inning, right? Like if it ends the inning, then you do have you can pull that pitcher out as long as the inning ends. It's just to eliminate those middle of the inning guys.
Do you think that's something that they could bring back? Because they eliminated it to try to help shorten games, right?
Correct.
So that was, but I think the pitch clock is done good enough that games are 240-ish?
Yeah, they're about 30 minutes, about 25 to 30 minutes shorter. And I think that it's a perfect sweet spot. Okay. I do. So I don't know. That's why I was at first, and still am, anti-ABS, is that, people are like, it's very minimally invasive and it doesn't really add much time. It did add 3 minutes to baseball games this year, and 3 minutes, not a big deal. But I'm just saying, like, once you start taking these steps, then they can add more steps to just keeping up slowing down that pace of the game that got to such a great sweet spot that I think Major League Baseball is in right now. Another one I can't stand in baseball. We're just heavy baseball right now for me. The shift, banning the shifts, nerfing the shifts that they've done now, where you can't be on the grass if you're in the infield, and you can only have a maximum of 2 players on either side of a base. You're a pro hitter, dude. Just hit the ball the other way. Lay down a bunt.
Bunt 7 times in a row. Guess who's not going to be shifting anymore?
Don't shift. I think that it sounds dumb to complain that little about it, but it just didn't make much sense to me why they had to do that. Why can't the professional hitter figure out how to hit the baseball?
Changing sports, the roughing the passer rules, the body weight. The body weight rule,
dude,
it's specifically of the roughing the passers. We could talk about the hits to the head where you barely glance them and you're like, okay, but like the body weight rule, that one, it's so hard for guys not to tackle with their body when they're trying to bring down a 230-pound dude, right? Body weight rules. You're going to put your body weight on someone when you're trying to tackle.
It is a violent game.
Yeah.
We are talking about a violent game, that football is not meant for people to play, and especially for a long time. If you can't handle the body weight of a large man, maybe the game not great. And it feels like you're not avoiding injury. You're avoiding injury to one position, right? Does that not harm or at least put the defensive player in maybe a less safe situation then if he's not supposed to land with his body weight on someone? I don't know. From the 262, I'm 50-50 on the Ghost Runner, but I understand these games can't go too many extra innings, especially when the teams can play stretches like the Brewers are about to endure. I think I'd accept it more if the Ghost Runner were in the 11th and on, and that would eliminate the worry about losing a perfect game too. So later on in the game is what we're talking about for something that could be avoiding that perfect game talk, and you still get to make sure the games don't go on for too long. But they eliminate the Ghost Run in the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's means why deep down
the playoffs have been awesome recently with long games too.
Deep down, Major League Baseball knows that putting the Ghost Runner on in the playoffs would be so stupid. It would be so dumb to just give runs to teams who are bunting guys over and playing that situational baseball.
Will Klein pitched 4, 5 innings, whatever it was in the World Series this past year in an 18-inning game. Guy out of nowhere. The Dodgers are like, we just we're kind of out of pitchers. You just need to go out there and keep throwing. That was awesome.
Yes,
that was awesome.
Right.
I love it.
Sparky had chimed in on this one. With the new kickoff rules, I still don't even know what happens on the new kickoff rule. Like, there's a landing zone in the NFL. There's the two lines of people that go during the. I work on a show with a kicker every day whenever he decides to come to work, but I have no idea what's going on in the NFL kickoff.
The worst part of it is that you have to declare onside kicks now.
Dumb, super
That's
dumb.
the
rule.
worst part of it. You can't surprise onside kick anymore.
No, yeah, that's a great one. Also dumb. There was the overtime rules that gets chimed in. That's one that I also not a fan of. Hip drop tackles to kind of go adjacent with your body weight.
Yeah.
Do they call that?
Like 3 times, I think I've seen it.
It feels like they were all against the Packers too.
Probably.
Like they just all happen against Green Bay.
Guys are getting hurt on hip drop tackles, and they're not throwing a flag for a hip drop tackle.
Right. Yes. That doesn't make any sense. Some NBA ones coming in as well. The 65 game rule in the NBA. Yes. Player participation. Robbing some postseason accolades that come from that, and suspending MVP, all NBA. Like, you got to play 65 games. I can understand from the NBA standpoint of, hey, we want our stars to play.
Yeah, I guess I have to take it back on this because I was all for the 65 game. Like I wanted it desperately to be a 65 game rule. Now I'm like, it's tough to have. It's tough to dictate because, some of these guys shouldn't be getting all NBA awards. It'll change the course of history, I guess. Maybe if they can find some way to, like, if you're at, find some way to dictate, like, if someone's actually hurt versus resting on days off and you have to play so many games. I don't know.
I also have some coming in here on the Nikolai Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. Tommy and Stallis, how about the flopping rules in the WWE? I mean, the NBA. It's supposed to be treated like a delay of game, but got enforced for 1 week and hasn't been enforced since.
Kind of like the hip drop tackle.
Or what was the other one where the lineman, the offensive lineman lining up like too far off the ball?
Yeah.
That's another one. They were like, hey, for 3 weeks, we're going to call this every time.
The Chiefs left tackle got to call them like 5 times or 6 times in the first game of the year, and it was hardly called the rest of the year.
Yes, it's a dumb rule. It's a dumb rule that they can't enforce. Now, I will say, we've talked about rules that we are not fans of here, and if you want to throw some in, 414-677-1250, the Nikolai Law Talking text line, you can call in as well. Great honorable mention here from Aaron. No cash in stadiums. I love the creative thinking.
Not bad.
Not a specific league rule, but just the cashless stadium argument changes.
Where can you use cash nowadays? Like at stores, right? You can use them at like grocery stores and such, like gas stations and things like that, and like little league tournaments.
Ooh, I don't even know if you can use them there.
Yeah,
at those times.
That's
Sometimes,
it. Where else can you use cash? You can't use cash anywhere anymore.
The worst part about cash payments is having to ask if you want to tip on the iPads. That's the worst part about the cashless stadiums is when that iPad starts turning around, you're like, I hate this.
They went and grabbed a hot dog off the heater behind them.
Right.
And they're like, would you like to tip me 10%?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
No, I don't. I would like to give you cash and maybe say keep the change.
You kind of feel like a bad person when you're clicking no tip, but also it's like, I don't feel bad for not tipping. Also, I don't know.
I completely agree. We've been talking about some rules that we are not fans of. However, we've brought up rule changes that we were fans of during that process. I am a fan of the pitch clock. I think that's been great for Major League Baseball. While the Ohtani rule is kind of dumb in the fact of the Dodgers pretty much get to keep 14 pitchers on their roster because they don't count Shohei Ohtani as a player on the pitching side of things, I do think celebrating and making sure that the best player we've seen in 100 years is able to play the game, the entire game, I think that's probably a good thing for Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite too of okay, well then he's a position player pitching.
Right.
You can't pitch as a position player unless it's the 9th inning and you're 8th inning and you're down 8 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, breaking that rule too.
What about playoff expansions? Talking about like the NFL going to 7 teams and then whatever. I don't even know what this wild card series is with baseball anymore. Is the top 2 teams get buys,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
And then now it's a 3-game series. The 1-game wild card.
Each of those big 3 leagues has expanded their playoffs in the last decade.
Oh yeah,
right? Because the NFL's gone to
play-in.
7, and the NBA's gone to the play-in, and baseball's gone to an extra wild card team.
Which one has been the most successful? Probably baseball, right?
Yeah, baseball.
Probably. I think they've had the most teams get out of that wild card week or series.
Only one 7 seed has won in the NFL, I think.
Right, just the Packers that 1 year.
Yeah.
And then the play-in did the Heat get to the finals from the play-in?
I don't
Or
think
they
from
were
the
just
play-in.
an
I think they were
8
just the 8 seed.
I feel like
Maybe
there's
they
a
were the play-in.
play-in that's gotten all the way there. Another one I really like, moving the extra point back.
Yo, that's a great one.
Great one.
It's fantastic.
It's not great for the bathroom break situation on Sundays when back in the day it was just, okay, they scored. I'm going to go run to the bathroom. I'm going to get this extra point time. Plus I'm going to get a commercial break after. Now I need to be glued to the television to see the extra point after as well.
Well, it adds all kinds of strategy, 2-point conversions versus extra points. Which one is better? It also, it makes games more entertaining in terms of like, okay, if you're up 7 or you're down 7, a touchdown isn't guaranteed to tie the game anymore, right? Like, so, kickers can just screw over the game even more. 36-yarders aren't gimmies. They should be, but they aren't, and guys miss from time to time. So, yeah, I think it adds a lot of previously unhad drama in NFL games.
Girl Scouts are now taking card, apparently, getting that from the talking text line. So the Girl Scouts aren't even taking cash anymore.
Take Cash App.
Guardian caps. Is that a rule change? I don't think that's a rule change. I think it's like a safety precaution that is offered. It's not like they're making everyone wear Guardian caps, right? I looked this one up just for some hockey ones. Can you not tuck in the back of your jersey into your hockey uniform?
Yeah, I don't know what that would be.
Is that a real thing? Anyone who's a hockey fan, can you not tuck in the back of your jersey into your hockey pants? Because it means what does that mean? What does that do? Why can't you tuck in the back of your jersey? Is it to make it easier?
Under NHL Rule 9.5, players cannot tuck the jersey in a way that exposes the top padding of the pants or body protection, and the back uniform number must never be obstructed, primarily for safety, to ensure protective padding and exposed skin remain covered, as well as to keep player numbers visible.
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get that one.
Warning, and then after the warning, then a 2-minute minor. And then further refusal can result in a 10-minute game misconduct.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get that one. Disengagement limits. That's another one that I think was good for baseball during that, where now I don't have to watch 8 pickoffs anytime someone's on base.
Well, that also has allowed more stolen bases.
Right?
Right?
Made the bases bigger too.
Yep.
The bigger bases, I think, has been good for that part of the game as well.
I think that's less of a time thing and more of a, hey, we want guys to steal more.
Right.
Which is a great thing.
Different pace of play during the game. Go first to third, right? When you hit a ball into right field a couple of times. All right, that was an interesting conversation. If you have any other ones that you want to talk about, rule changes in sports, the good, the bad, the ugly. It is the Mason Crosby Show. Final topic here, really, on a Friday before we get out. I want to talk about this Bucks team, and I want to talk about the future. All right. No, I don't. I'm banning Giannis Antetokounmpo from conversation.
We're talking Jolly Twins in 2032.
But it's just a development that me and Aaron came up with here as well. It is the Mason Crosby Show in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Welcome back to the Mason Crosby Show. Tommy Wirtz, Aaron Morse in for Mitch Thunder Nellis, and the Packers' all-time leading scorer. I believe they're both going to be back on Monday, but I seem to have maybe the best idea of their schedules. Other than that, I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, I haven't been asked to fill in on the show, so that means that they'll probably be here.
Okay, that's good news.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be here on Monday, so I know that much. The show will go on.
I'll be on 9 to noon with Rami and John Kuhn on Monday.
Nice. In for Snide. Hey?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What the hell does he need a day
I'll keep that
for?
chair nice and warm for you.
Dude, Snide, the warmest chair possible every time I come in this room. And I'm not talking about from me sitting on it. I'm like, oh no, now my backside is warm. No, I mean when I am logging into the computer over here and situating the board how we need it to be before, like I can feel heat radiating off the seats, like on my elbow as I'm typing and hovering over. I don't know what he does, but he has to be the warmest body running human I've ever met in my life. And I run hot. I run hot. I've been told, like, stop touching me. You're on fire right now. And Snide, I can't imagine he doesn't get the same amount of complaints than that because it is hot every time I come in on this chair. The Mason Crosby Show, we've had a fun conversation talking a lot about the Brewers today, new CBA. If you guys miss any of this, don't forget, you can text Crosby, get the link to the podcast page here, each individual hour posted over on the Mason Crosby Show. The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network just got bigger. Welcome to the city of Madison. You can now listen on the Fan in Madtown on 94.9 HD2, your favorite local shows each weekday from 6 to 6, plus best Brewers coverage with the leadoff show, the Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show. You can keep it tuned in to 94.9 HD2 when listening to your Wisconsin Sports Radio Network in Madison. Thanks to listening as well. Duluth Superior, Wausau, WNFL up in Green Bay, and of course our flagship here in Milwaukee. And participate in the X Golf Hole-in-One Challenge with the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network at Summerfest, where Sparky and Wisconsin Sports Daily will be broadcasting live this afternoon starting at 2 p.m. We'll be there till 6:30 as I'll have the leadoff show getting you ready for Brewers Cubs from 5 to 6:30 as well. Right after that, tee up 3 balls for $10 for a chance to hit a hole-in-one, and the first person to hit a hole-in-one wins $5,000. We'll see you at the X Golf Hole-in-One Challenge at Summerfest. This week it's been a big week in Bucks basketball, right? Giannis gone.
That might be an understatement.
I wanna just say that Giannis gone. That's the last mention I want of that, because the Bucks got to return. I don't quite understand how John Horst on draft night can be like, hey, I can't talk about any trades that happen or that are finalized until July 6th, but we will have Nate Ament and a press conference for him, who, again, not really officially is a part of the Bucks, but will be a part of the Bucks because of this trade that will go through on July 6th. The terms already agreed to, and it will just have to be approved once that happens. So I don't quite get how we're going to make him wear a Heat hat, announce that this is traded to the Bucks in a pending trade immediately after, and then introduce him at a Bucks press conference, but we can't talk about the other part of that trade. A lot of people still frustrated that there's no thank you that's come out yet. I think we should probably wait until July 6th and see if by the 8th there is no thank you. Then that could be something that could be a topic.
I don't think anybody's touching this trade until it's officially official.
I think it's officially official. I know it's not officially official, but it's about as officially official as it can
I
be.
just don't think anyone's going to touch it until then.
Well, I want to know what off-season piece gets you the most excited for Bucks basketball next season, this upcoming season. Whether it is something from the Giannis Antetokounmpo trade, or it is something along from the NBA draft, whether it is Burries or Ament, that gets you excited to talk or watch Bucks basketball? Because the Bucks know that if you are to trade a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo, you need to find a new draw to your team. You had the moneymaker itself in Giannis Antetokounmpo. They built the arena, Pfizer Forum, the house Giannis built. And now someone else needs to take over the get the butts in the seats role that Giannis had. So what gets you the most excited for next season and Bucks basketball? I don't find it with many of the player acquisitions in that Heat trade. I don't get it from Jaime Jaquez. I don't get it from Kel'el Ware. Tyler Hero I'm just really not interested. I'm really not interested in it.
I wanted Kel'el Ware to be drafted by the Bucks in that draft, so I am excited about Kel'el Ware.
I talked
maybe
about
not
this,
as much as once upon a time before he got drafted, but I wanted the Bucks to draft him originally, so I'm happy that he's now on the Bucks.
Talked about this with Aaron. The Bucks trading for pick number 13, right? Drafting Nate Ament, which I think is my answer, by the way. I am curious to see if that was a smart risk by the Bucks to take someone like Ament, who was a top 5 prospect coming out of high school and has now developed into a prospect for the NBA, and getting a high floor guy like a Braden Burries at 10 versus a high ceiling guy in Ament at 13, I think does give you a little bit of insurance on that pick.
Ament not going at 10 and going at 13 is a lot better. Like if the Bucks didn't have 13 and they just drafted Ament, I would be a lot more disappointed in that draft pick. I love Braden Burries. I've wanted the Bucks to take him, and I didn't think he was going to be available at 10. So I want to see Braden Burries play. I'm a little interested in Kel'el Ware, but the other guys, Tyler Hero, I don't really care. Jaime Jaquez, I don't really care. Kasper Siakachonis, I know he's seen as like a great throw and play. Ooh, he could be pretty good, and the Heat didn't want to trade him. I don't know, like whatever. But I'm interested in this team because this year doesn't really matter either way for the Bucks because they don't have any picks.
Jeff,
right?
No, they don't.
So it's like, okay, you can just go win and it doesn't affect you at all. It's not like you're a bad team and if you win, then you won't get a great pick. They don't have their pick anyway.
Jeff in the 414, Coach Jenkins gets me excited. He will make these young guys play hard. That kind of branches off of a 262 text that says, excited to see the youth and watch these guys start to gel. And I think that Bucks basketball, I think this year can be better than maybe just the flat out of no Giannis here means that, oh, this team goes into irrelevancy. I'm not saying that this team is a top 4 contender, top 6 contender, hell, maybe really not even a top 8 contender over in the East, but I could see a 36-46 type season out of them. I could see something where maybe a 38 and 44 type
they
thing
could be
that goes
kind of
on.
hovering the bottom of that plan. Probably,
you're looking to see where do you continue to invest, and I don't think the Bucks are done moving either. Right? I would be shocked if Miles Turner is a Buck this year. I'll be shocked if Kyle Kuzma is a Buck this year. I think that they're going to continue to move on from a lot of different pieces still involved with Milwaukee Bucks basketball today. But I think Taylor Jenkins is a great answer. I do think that because I don't necessarily know if Taylor Jenkins is that high profile of, oh, this coach is here and now that will get me excited. It gets me excited that Doc Rivers is not the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Well, Taylor Jenkins had a team like this previously with the Grizzlies and made them really good. They were a 50-win team. That was kind of when John Morant was first coming up and Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. So he has experience with younger teams that maybe need some gelling and need some structure and need some culture. So that's exciting. I mean, Doc Rivers certainly would have been horrendous. I think he would have been 2 times worse with this roster this year because he just doesn't understand he can't coach. He doesn't know how to coach that style.
262 says, don't forget about Bogojub Markovic. Yeah, he was apparently hooping this last year. And he's probably going to join the team this year in Milwaukee. That was the second rounder from a year ago in the draft before.
I haven't seen any confirmation on that, but it seems like he will be.
He could. He's going to have a shot.
He could go back overseas for another year, I think is what he could, but he could also be in Milwaukee.
We'll see what develops with that. The more I look at the Giannis trade as well and see the pick capital that comes in, do we understand? So it's a 2030 pick, and I believe they got a 2033 pick and a 32 swap, something like that.
Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah.
Do we all realize that a 2033 first round pick, while I do think a smart investment because in 7 years, Giannis is going to be almost 40. And how impactful will he be on a basketball court? Will he even be on a basketball court? The Miami Heat team can look very different in 7 years. The turnover in the NBA on NBA rosters is ridiculous on a year-to-year basis. But do we really understand that the Bucks pretty much just traded for the rights to draft someone who is currently 11 years old?
You know why I think it's great? We looked this up. The Jolly twins are in the 2032 class.
Who are those? Who are they?
Dude, you don't know about the Jolly twins?
I don't know.
Henry and Ashton Jolly, dude?
No, those are fake names to me.
Henry's 5'5" already.
Yes,
Ashton's 5'4".
Yeah.
They live in LA, so you know they're big time 5-star rating.
Isn't that just weird? That's just weird.
I mean, and if you don't get one of the twins, Cole Adams is there.
Yeah,
Aiden Garth, dude.
Aiden Garth.
Yeah, and the number 5
God.
prospect, Nas McCoy. Who doesn't want to cheer for Nas McCoy in 10 years?
That's just makes no sense to me.
Chima Mbaku,
another
dude,
made up name.
The second? No, Chima Mbaku the second.
Oh, right. I remember his dad, who is like your age.
Chima
right
Mbaku
now.
Senior,
Yeah,
the first. Yeah.
This is so weird to me, and the pick capital just doesn't make sense. I don't know how I get excited about that pick yet because I don't even want to think of, oh, well, Giannis won't even be there. But I don't want to scout 5th graders to this point.
You don't want to scout
that sounds
Henry and Ashton Jolly?
So awkward. Why are there rankings out of 12-year-old kids?
Dude, it's not just like 50 kid. There are, on this website I'm on, 272 kids ranked all the way down to 2-star prospects. There's a kid who's ranked number 2 or number 272 as a 2-star prospect.
Giving an 11-year-old a 2-star prospect status is ridiculous.
Poor Landon Coy. He's 272nd in the 2032 class.
I don't know where to get excited in for the Milwaukee Bucks in that level of the future, but I am excited to see a young core. I am excited to see if Ament can be better than his prospect status right now of project.
Do you think it could be nice to just kind of have an expectation-free season?
Well, I think the expectations are low.
Right, but I mean, like, it's not so high. It's not championship or bust, where we can just kind of watch and enjoy the players on the court play and watch them grow, develop. Is it? I'm not saying to do that for the next 3 years, but maybe for 1 year just to kind of chill and see these guys develop. Could that?
I don't know.
Be fun or it little change of pace?
The excitement that Major League Baseball does for me in this town with the Brewers and what the Green Bay Packers do from a football standpoint. I don't know if I would say, oh, I can't wait for them to be not relevant and then have no expectations just to see what would happen. But with Bucks basketball, I think that is the expectation this year. And as far as the piece that gets me the most excited, I think it's Nate Ament. I just want to see if it is someone who maybe the Bucks strike gold again. I think trading for the 13th pick is really on the surface level a crapshoot already. I mean, very rarely.
This
do
is the year
NBA
to do it.
The
This
NBA
was a deep
drafts
draft.
that end up going to, like, I don't really know how I can get much more excited about a 13th overall pick than a Nate Amons type pick. But that's the one that I want to see. Did the Bucks get immediate potential out of this trade? That's where I go to in saying, where am I the most excited for the Bucks in 2026, 27? It's Nate Amons, because I need immediate contribution out of that potential spot. On the other side, we'll wrap up the show. We'll take a call or two here as well. The Mason Crosby Show in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. One more segment real quick here on the Mason Crosby Show. Take you guys up into the weekend. Rams on the north side of Milwaukee. What's going on, Ram?
Hey, man. I was wondering, when you look at players, do you guys ever look at, like, and I've done on the recruiting side, I look them up on Wikipedia, whether college or pro,
Sure.
And I want to see a succession of winning.
I actually, Ram, so that's a great point. I felt like I was the only guy in the building who was just all in on Boozer. I just feel like Boozer's a winner, man. I love that pick at 3. And, you know, you got the lineage as well that goes into it. Like, I think that guy's just going to be a winner in the NBA wherever he goes, and that's who I would have drafted.
And I'm going to say this. When I'm only saying that because, to me, and as an athlete and as both of you, when you play in championship and playoff games, like in your high school career, and you're playing against pressure, that's different than someone who hasn't, just a scorer.
Right.
And at the college, so if you got a succession, like when you look at players like Jordan like that, they have a succession win, and they used to playing in big games. So when you get to the pro, it's a little different, but it's not like you never been there. And I'm really big on that in the basketball side for boys and girls, men and women.
Ram, thanks for the call, man. We got to go. But I totally get it. Winning needs to be a part of scouting. Aaron, thanks so much for popping on today. Make sure you guys go see Steve Sparky Pfeiffer over at Summerfest. We're going to be there from 2 to 6:30, 2 to 5 Wisconsin Sports Daily, and the leadoff show from 5 to 6:30. It is the Mason Crosby Show. We'll see you guys on Monday, Wisconsin.
I was